Adam's brother-in-law, Larry, is with us today on Valentine's Day, on a day which would have been Adam's 30th birthday. Please join me in welcoming Larry Odebrecht.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be able to speak about Adam on his 30th birthday. What should have happened today was my wife and I would have gone to work. We would have gotten some frantic calls from my mother-in-law about what we would be doing for the birthday. Somebody would have stopped by Target and picked up something. And then we would have headed off over in Stillwater to exchange gifts. Instead, Adam was the victim of an assault in August. And I cannot tell you anything about the technology that makes this happen, but I can tell you the perspective of a man who sat in a room with his mother-in-law. She said goodbye to her son and made a very hard and very right decision to donate organs that, as my wife put it, weren't his to begin with, to somebody else to use so that he could live on. First, I want to give you a little sense of the man who's turning 30 today. I first met Adam when Tara and I were dating. Tara's here with us today. He was this boundless ball of teenage energy, and we were in Florida at the time. We had an outdoor pool, and I was trying to get to know the McLeods. And there was this little kid just bouncing in the pool with my dog, and it was just this endless ball of energy and noise coming out of him. As I got to know him a little bit more at our wedding, he was a typical teenager. At the time, it was sort of the pants on the ground era. We had to actually sign one of my groomsmen. He was another one of our groomsmen, to make sure his pants stayed up for most of the day. Later on, he got so excited about the flicking the glass like you do, that he actually broke a glass. And I was turning around looking at Adam, stunned with this spoon in his hand and the shattered water glass. As I got to know them more, we moved in with the McLeods when we moved from Florida to Minnesota, and I was remembering today about your brother's stereo and how he was. Every time your mom and dad would leave, that stereo would go up to 11, and I swore that. But even then, I was impressed with Adam because we did family events. In my family, teenage years were almost a time of exile. And there was Adam at 16, 17, 15. These ages where kids just want to be with their friends, and he would show up, and he was there. That's the kind of family that Adam grew up in. I got to see him grow and transform, and we were so blessed to see him grow into be a strong man. He had a passion for gold mining, of all things. And I remember my wife and I looking at each other going, where is this going to go? But he made it work. He created a business. He was selling sluice boxes to miners and taking people out to the Dakotas to mine gold as a kind of hobby type thing, and followed his passions. He lived across the street from my mother. He was a daily influence in my children's life and in my wife's life and in my in-laws' life. He saw my kids every day. Adam was 6'4", just shy of 6'5", and just had this big booming voice and these arms. His arms were absurdly long, even for a guy at 6'4". And I just would remember him putting his arms out in the street and grabbing all three of my children in his arms. As Adam grew, he became a really fantastic gift giver. A friend of his told a story at Adam's funeral about a skateboard that his son had. One of the neighbors got ticked off at the kid and drove over the skateboard in the street. Nobody even realized that it really connected with Adam, and 2 weeks later, Adam had a custom board brought to the kid and just absolutely made his day. Adam was always there with the gift when you needed it. And so, as we created the Adam McLeod Foundation, there's information in the press packet about a fundraiser we're doing this Sunday. We decided to focus on gifts. We've done some work for Toys for Tots, and certainly LifeSource is a giving organization as well. In terms of the experience, I will tell you this is hard. This is not something you ever want to do. You're thrown into a situation where you're saying goodbye to somebody you love deeply. And regardless of how well you may intellectualize it on the other side of the equation, I can tell you it will feel a little bit like you're giving a little bit more of a love at a time where you just want to bring it back. This is a hard decision to make. We were blessed by the folks at Regions to help us with this. I am thoroughly impressed and pleased that our chaplain from Regions, as I was standing looking at these wonderful quilts and thinking about the families who were there, came up behind me and put her arms around me. This community is absolutely fantastic for the health care and the mental health care that it gives. I want to say a little something about my mother-in-law, who was the one who made this decision, and how pleased and impressed I am with the difficulty that was there as we made it. Despite our deep grief at the time and the difficulty, we had to laugh a little bit. In addition to being 6'4", Adam drank water like by the gallon. His kidney recipient is a 6-year-old girl. I had to laugh a little bit. Thank you. We kind of had to laugh a little bit at the idea of a little 6-year-old girl with this ginormous kidney. Our family is still very broken by what happened. And I wish I could contextualize the emotions for you that come along with this. There's a great joy in meeting folks like yourselves. My wife's uncle was a heart recipient from the Mayo 10 years ago, and is still going strong. So there's great joy in what happened. I won't lie. If we had it all to do over again, then we could avoid making these gifts and keep Adam with us. That's not a hard decision to make. It's a difficult ball of emotions, and there's very few words in English language to describe what is going on with us. But I know that Adam, being the great gift giver that he was, would have been very pleased with our decision and know that we did the right thing. So today, in addition to wanting to promote the fundraiser we're doing for LifeSource on Sunday, I want to ask you to mentally prepare yourselves to make this decision. I want you to consider taking a step beyond writing what's on your card and mentally prepare yourself for the decision that we had to make. It was extremely difficult, and what you think of your decision now, I ask you to consider what you will do in that situation and make the decision now with a clear head and a clear heart, and then follow through with that if, God forbid, you're ever in the same situation. So with that, all I can say is, happy birthday, Adam. We love you, and we miss you.